Good morning. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's doing well today. I just wanted to hop on real quick. I mean, I should have done a Wellness Wednesday, but I didn't, so we're going to do Wellness Thursday. Some people don't find out until way later in life, until after bad things happen. Their connection to the universe and being an empath and stuff like that. I just wanted to say, I was talking with someone who, first, there's two parts to this, okay? So, in my narcissist group, somebody asked, if you can be a narcissist and an empath. And, let's take a step back from that and, realize that, narcissistic personality disorder is a thing. It's very hard to diagnose because if you have it, odds are you will not even think for a second that it is possible, and that's why a lot of people who have narcissistic personality disorder don't get help. Now, can you have narcissistic traits? Absolutely. Now, can you be an empath and be a narcissist? I doubt it. But can you be an empath and have narcissistic traits? Absolutely. That defines me to a T. And the difference is when you have narcissistic traits, I always just maybe thought that there was something wrong with me, and then I realized a lot, through my experiences. And now, whenever I do something that is narcissism, I will call myself out and apologize. Even if it's to my kids, I'll apologize. They don't deserve that. And that helps me to rewire my brain, because both of my parents, whether or not they have narcissistic personality disorder or not, they definitely had narcissistic traits. And I acquired a lot of those growing up just because, I thought that that was normal. I thought it was healthy. And, you live what you learn, Now, can you be an empath and be a narcissist? No, but you can be an empath and have narcissistic traits. So how that comes into play, and in my opinion, is that if you are an empath and you are exhausting your energy in the wrong places and it is depleting you, it is going to lead to misery and depression and anger and lashing out on people. Being an empath means that you are just so connected with universal vibes and the feelings of others. And you hear a song and it runs goosebumps all over your body and brings you to the point of tears. I can't watch movies where people are being abused or hurt, because it really, really upsets me and makes me feel pain, actual physical pain. I identify with that pain. I remember my friend in high school, it was after high school, we went and saw the movie Hostel. If you know anything about it, it's takes place over in I don't know, Germany or something, and there's people getting kidnapped and cut up and stuff. And I could not sleep for 2 weeks. I was a grown woman, I was 19. And I had my brother, who was 2 years younger, sleep on my bedroom floor for a week because I was so messed up over it. So with that being said, as an empath, it's very important that you pay attention to things that you're exposed to and to where your energy goes. The big thing I always like to, touch on is if you are caring more about other people and their problems than they care about them, then you're just basically throwing yourself into a fire, because that is not cool. Those are the vampires that come around and suck your energy and your wellness, and for some reason, people who are miserable, they search for people who are us, the fixers, the lovers, the ones who care too much, and it's not a flaw. I love being an empath now that I see it for what it is. Growing up, I was always told by my parents that I was too sensitive and stuff like that. And now I realize that that shit's awesome. I'm glad to be sensitive, especially after being married to a sociopath. Oh my goodness. I will cry every day, all day, and I am good with it because you know what? Crying is so super healthy and it gets a lot of that out, but basically being mindful about where you're placing your energy. I got wrapped up in politics deeply, and I always wanted to be a politician. I wanted to be an attorney at one point. I mean, all these things. And I realized the amount of stress that would come on with them. And I take stress on way worse than another person does, because at the same time of taking on stress, I'm also dealing with anxiety and bipolar disorder. So there's constantly a little committee of people inside of my head talking shit, putting me down, and I have to fight back at that at all costs. So even like speaking up about injustices in our political system back when Bernie Sanders was running, there was still those voices in my head that were like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about, nobody wants to hear you, nobody wants to listen to you. And it takes a lot to like come past those thoughts, and then that brings me to what I'm always talking about, which is, the power of positivity and self-talk. And anytime, I've had people ask me, like, I don't understand how to do it. I don't understand how to do it. I don't understand how to change my mind, how to rewire my brain. It doesn't happen overnight. And I know that's why it's so hard to understand, but that's okay. Start today, work on it. And like I said, I started telling myself I was going to be happy, and I didn't believe it at first, but then after a good 2 weeks of doing it, like, things began to change for me, And the same thing's possible for you as well. I used to be so fucked up, like depression, anxiety, self-loathing. I would just throw myself at men because I thought that if I slept with them, that mean they would love me, and just, I never loved myself. And that was part of like being positive and, self-talk and all that, was like knowing that I was worthy of all those things, and that I had to stop expecting others to give it to me when like I could just give it to myself. Because why not? I could give it to everyone else awesome and effortlessly. Why couldn't I just give those things to myself? So also like becoming more in sync with the universe lately. Like, I'm reading my horoscope and like following like, all the different signs, like star signs and moon signs and stuff. And it's crazy because like in the last few weeks, like my horoscope has mentioned like my divorce. It has mentioned like celibacy, which I have decided on. It has mentioned all these things. And it helps me to pay attention to my day. I don't believe in God. Maybe he exists. I don't know. That's like part of my anxiety. I can't say. I don't have any proof, so I don't know. But I do believe in the universe because there is proof of that. And I have had such bad anxiety lately about like just the unknown, but I have found great comfort in the universe, even if it's just as simple as like reading my horoscope, because I feel like that sets up my day, and it also helps to reassure me that the universe already has a plan for me, and all I have to do is to just listen to it. And how do you listen to it? Self-talk, self-work. You work on yourself. You love yourself. Like I watched a video today from some new friends talking about basically like being whole on your own before you can ever truly like connect with someone on a healthy level. And it was about chasers and runners, and like, people chase because like they're lacking something inside of them. And like when you're whole, like you're not going to chase. And like when the other person is whole, like you won't be like chasing as much as you'll kind of just grow in sync with each other, But like you can't truly do those things until you're okay on your own. And like that sucks because I was always told like I had to love myself first before I could truly be happy with someone else. And I never wanted to believe that because I'm codependent as fuck, I mean, I was. Like, I'm good now because it has taken me 30 years to learn that it's possible to be alone and to make myself happy and to not rely on anyone else for that happiness, and that's what's so important. And it keeps me excited to be alone and to be doing this self-work because I know that as long as I'm doing that, I'm not going to end up in, hopefully not, another terrible, terrible, abusive, toxic relationship. And that's just so important to me, especially because I have kids now. It's not just me ending up in a toxic relationship, it's them too, So, but at the end of the day, follow the universe, self-talk, self-work, be positive, and be mindful of where you're placing your energy. Don't lose sleep over people that won't lose sleep over you, And like if you're losing sleep over those people who like are okay with losing sleep over you, like make sure like they're doing work as well and not just like hijacking like your good healing energy and not doing any of the work themselves, because like that's also not good, Enjoy your Thursday.